I just want to hear a little bit more about the promotions that you have for these athletes and coaches.
Sure, Addison. Listen, we're really excited. Fandom Nation is a media company and a strategy company. And for us, when we talk to parents and athletes, they're like, we need help. We need help, not just with reels or not just branding. So we offer a holistic approach for athletes, for coaches. We do reels for those folks. We'll do social media for them. We'll also do branding. We do mental performance training through Habit Finder. And then finally, we'll do interview training. So for us, as a parent, I knew that I didn't have the capability of doing those things. If you asked me to shoot a reel, it was going to be shaky with some screaming in the background, just a little rough. Social media, don't ask me. That was not my thing. So for us, when we listen to our customers, it was like, how can we help solve their issues? How do we help elevate athletes so they could be seen by recruiters or by other coaches?
What sets them apart?
Yeah.
Right. And that's super hard. I mean, not coming into a world that was full of technology. I mean, not saying like you're old, but like back in the day.
Thank you.
I'm saying like that's not something that was common knowledge as it is today in the Gen Z. Everyone's learning this stuff like when they're in pre-K, like it's right away. So being able to teach these coaches and these athletes how to use those reels and those different technologies to set their students and athletes apart is super great. Love that.
I appreciate that. I think for us, it was, number one is how do we price in a way that everyone can be engaged? Right. So our pricing is really scaled so that everyone has an opportunity to be seen and heard. But the other thing too was how do you do it so that you're competitive, so that you know that you have to post on this time and this day, that you know that you have to be hashtagged with this, that you know that you need a branding journey, that we can help with that. So for us, it's like, how do we holistically help the athlete be seen amongst this really competitive environment? How do we make sure that women are also seen and that it's not just guys playing and certain athletes and certain sports playing, that everybody has an opportunity to be seen and heard?
Right. Yeah, that's cool. So you're saying the holistic approach. How do these athletes become like, do they have to do all this themselves, or is this kind of what you guys do for this whole
Yeah, and that's a great question. For us, what we do is we ask for an intake form. We ask a bunch of questions. We create things based upon each individual. We personalize that. We have it through a sequence where we're communicating all throughout the process. And we have options for, it's a one-time opportunity to be promoted. We have 6-month opportunities. I think our unique value proposition is both from youth, through high school, through college, through professional athletes, and retired. So for us, we want to serve our customers from 8th grade all the way till they retire.
That's great.
And our offerings are scaled to be able to help them through that process.
That's awesome. Have you found certain like media platforms that work better than others?
Yeah, there's some, I think for coaches, they have to be really engaged in Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. I think for our younger athletes, they've got to have the spectrum. I think they also have to figure out, what's the brand journey that they want to be on. If they're an NIL athlete, then they've got to make sure that they're connecting with brands that want to be seen, that they should be seen by. I think if they're a coach, they've got to think about where, if they want to get promoted in an authentic way, they've got to think about what's my voice. Mm-hmm. What words do I need to say? How do I get people to see my value in a way that I'm not selling out?
Exactly. What makes you different? Like we were saying.
What makes you different? What brings you value? How do I do this in an authentic way so that another coach at another spot might see me to say, I love what they're saying. I want to be a part of that.
Right. It comes down to more than just the athlete. It comes down to the mindset and the grit and the determination and all that it takes to be an athlete. I mean, it's not just, being good at a sport. It's the mental capacity and the sanity and the leadership skills that you form. And can you talk a little bit more about those interview things you guys were?
Yeah. So one of the things that we're fortunate is we have a few podcasts. We have the Talk at Elevation, this podcast. We also have Gridiron and Filter, which is a more performance based. I think what we provide our athletes, our coaches, is audiences so they can be interviewed across those platforms, so that we can use those snippets, those shorts, those logs, so that people can get a chance to see them in their authentic self, not just the snippet they see, the highlight reel, but who's this person? What are they about? What's the fire that burns them? What's their why? What's their yes? Mm-hmm. What hurdles have they gone through to make them be able to compete at the highest level? And then when have they failed and how'd they get through it?
Yeah. It means a lot to these younger athletes, growing up to see this inspiration from, NIL athletes, college athletes, even down to just high school, to be able to see through, just the game and the ball that you're playing with, or be able to like see them as a person and see maybe that maybe other kids have been through these same issues, and maybe that can help them grow and see how this athlete's persevered and came through all this to maybe make themselves a better player one day and a person.
100%, 100%. I think one of the things we want to tell those stories, because we want parents to see their kids take those next steps forward, and we want communities to see their pride and joy grow and prosper, and for as you said, those other athletes to see, like, I'm not alone. It's not just
Exactly.
me feeling that way.
Right. Yeah, and that's the big thing about, I think, this whole program is showing that you're different, and that you have that drive, the purpose, rather than just seeing the typical highlight clips, rather than maybe having a spotlight on them and being like, what is the hardest thing you've ever done in your life and how did you get through it, versus just the typical game highlight reels that you got going on.
Everyone's voice is important. Everyone
Yes.
is singular and unique and special, and everyone's deserves that voice to be heard. And I think when we looked at the competitive landscape, because we are a business, no one was sharing that athlete's story in a way that everyone can participate. Everyone can have their voice heard. We saw people, different economics being able to do that, but even that part wasn't done holistically. It was done in snippets where you might see a great highlight reel and that kid's amazing, but you don't know that person or what makes them tick.
Exactly. Have you found any difficulties through like the economical world in that, versus paying for this program and going through all that?
Yeah, I was part of a mentor program called Save Our Youth. It's a program in Colorado where you mentor youth that are disadvantaged. And I think through that experience, well, we all live in the world of, I'm used to my hood, my community.
Right.
We're all pretty good. Like, everybody's okay.
Yeah.
And then I learned, like, no, not everybody is okay.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes, Mike. Even I was naive about things. And I think what was important to me is that everyone has a chance to play and compete and be a part of it.
Mhm.
And that we provide schools also the opportunity so that schools, teams, youth groups can be a part of it. We also wanted for booster clubs to say, hey, listen, I want to sponsor an athlete, or for athletes to give scholarships to particular schools, to say, I want to support my schools.
Yeah.
And provide scholarship for those young men and women. So for us, the economics were important. For us, also the ability to scale and provide different services as people needed different services was important to us also.
That's great. It's super important to be flexible when it comes to these different things, because you gotta make everything fair for everyone and give everyone those equal opportunities to progress and become those people that they're meant to be, and those athletes, and get to show the world who they are and what they want and make a name for themselves.
Couldn't have said it better.